What's a statistically proven fact that nobody wants to hear? Teen pregnancy has been declining since the 70s, and if I remember correctly is currently at an all-time low. Don't tell the baby boomers that, though. It'll destroy their narrative of this generation being a bunch of sexed up lunatics. It doesn't matter if it's fat free. If you eat more calories than your body needs, you're going to get overweight. While deployed in Afghanistan or Iraq, American female soldiers were more likely to be assaulted by their fellow soldier than attacked by the enemy. That the world is a safer place now than in any other time in history. The majority of sexual assaults are committed by someone already known to the victim. One of the reasons we need to change the narrative around assault, in my opinion, because people still have the image of stranger lurking in a dark alley and often think of the attacker as not like that, because they don't seem like a scary alley dweller. They're someone that has been let into lives and homes. About one man a year accidentally shoots his dung off. More Americans were killed by toddlers than terrorists in 2015. More things live on your skin than there are humans on planet Earth. If you put a cow in an airtight container, it would die of methane poisoning before it ran out of oxygen. 1 in 6 men have experienced abusive sexual experiences before age 18, and this figure is probably on the low end, as males who have such experiences are less likely to disclose them than women are. If the number of medical errors we have in hospitals was the same as pilot errors in airlines, we'd have 267 fully loaded 366 passenger Boeing 747 feats crash every year. That's how many people medical errors kill. What's being done about this? Not as much as you'd think. Doctors are overworked, nurses are overworked, etc. No one has enough sleep. The medical field needs to follow the aviation field and its incredibly good culture of safety. 60-70% of all elderly couples in the United States still engage in oral. The bees are dying. That we are living in the most peaceful time ever. Also, world hunger is lowest ever. If you're in a room full of people with no windows open, that head itchy feeling you get is oxygen deprivation. If oxygen levels drop by 2% total volume of the room, it'll make you feel groggy. But nobody wants to hear that. It's just stuffy in here, yeah. That's what causes the stuffiness. That it's much easier to find a statistical correlation than it is to prove a statistical causation. Crime rates in the United States have steadily decreased since the 1990s. Yet the media and government portray a much more pessimistic narrative. Riding in a car is way more dangerous than flying, yet more people are scared to get on planes than cars. That 61% of US gun deaths are suicides. That 22 US veterans commit suicide every day. Basically, we have a mental health crisis in this country. Link opens a PDF and it doesn't seem that anyone is willing to seriously address it. The United States of America imprisons a larger percentage of its population than any other country except Seychelles, then profits from their incarceration. The wage gap is real, but it's not 77 to the dollar. That wage gap is due to a number of factors such as women working jobs that pay less, differences in education, and men working more paid hours on average. If you account for all of those things, it's more like 96 to the dollar, which economists do believe may actually be due to sexism. Here's a pretty easy to understand John Green video on the subject, with some sources in the description you can read up on. If you are white, the most likely person to murder you is a white person known to you. If you are black, the most likely person to murder you is a black person known to you. If you are Hispanic, the most likely person to murder you is a Hispanic person known to you. Stop worrying about what those people are doing or scheming to do to you, and worry about your own friends and family. 9. 10, possibly more, of child abductions, abuse are committed by a family member or close family friend. This means that stranger danger is the least of your worries. I see this so often, and it makes no sense. Insecure parents are willing to limit their child's activities or independence to, say, disallow them walk home from school on their own, or go to the shop on their own, but yet have no problem letting them over to their relatives or friends' houses. It makes no sense. The world is not as mean as people think it is, and the overwhelming majority of people are good. In Europe and in the US, an individual's likelihood of being hurt or killed by a terrorist is negligible. Organically and conventionally produced foodstuffs are not significantly different in their nutrient content. Men make up over 75% of all suicide victims, 3.5x women. Men also compose over 93% of US inmates. If you're meeting Mickey Mouse at Disney World, there's a 98% chance there's a girl inside. That most people don't understand statistics. Black police officers are twice as likely to shoot black people unjustly than white officers. Gun deaths have been steadily decreasing, even as record numbers of all types of guns are being sold. Why do people think otherwise? Jews make up 2% of the American population. Jews make up 48% of the billionaires in America. Fat people die earlier than average people due to diabetes and other complications. Like I already didn't know my life is short. The hiring rate for women in STEM fields when adjusted for education, experience, etc., is 2 times that of males right now. Good diet and exercise will make you lose weight. Worldwide obesity has more than doubled since 1980, to in 2014, more than 1.9 billion adults, 18 years and older, were overweight. Of these, over 600 million were obese. 39% of adults aged 18 years and over were overweight in 2014, and 13% were obese. 4. Most of the world's population live in countries where overweight and obesity kills more people than underweight. 5. 41 million children under the age of 5 were overweight or obese in 2014. 6. Obesity is preventable. There are 46 million Xbox Live subscribers, of which 62% are male. 39% of Xbox Live subscribers are under 18 years old. Running the numbers, that means that a minimum of 11,122,801 people, or 0.15% of the world population, has dactopismon. The average person has less than 2 arms. That women are more likely to commit physical domestic violence against their partners than men are. 52% voted to leave the EU. 48% voted remain. Truck drivers get no overtime, even though they often work 70 hours per week. Almost nobody is gluten intolerant. That nothing can be statistically proven, only statistically supported. Science and statistics look for evidence, not answers. This allows the same research to be applicable in lots of different cases. Over 66% of all gun deaths are suicides. It's safer to be a police officer than it is to be a garbage collector. More white people are killed by cops than black people. Still a problem, still needs to be fixed, but yay. Men who have penetrative sex with other men are at higher risk of contracting STDs than any other demographic, and that is a reason why they face more restrictions when trying to donate blood. Trying to explain this to someone who's decided that blood transfusion centers are institutionally and randomly homophobic and bigoted is like trying to argue with a climate change denier who has the added character flaw of the obnoxious liberal, who think that, because they are offended on behalf of the little people, that it gives them free rein to say really vile, ignorant things, and get away with it. I don't need people like that pretending to stand up for me. 6 football fields of Amazon rainforest go down every minute. Animal agriculture emits more greenhouse gases than all forms of transport combined in the world. Consider subscribing if you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of Reddit Universe.